Okay, another one of our faves is The King of the Woods. It's kind of like an old one, but it's got a really good message. Okay, The King of the Woods. It's by David Day and illustrated by Ken Brown. It all began early one morning when a little wren flew out into the middle of a forest clearing and found a golden apple sitting on the top of an old stump. The little wren landed next to the big juicy apple. She was about to pick it up when a crow flew up and landed on the other side of the apple.
"I'm the king of the woods,"
cawed the crow grandly as he puffed his chest up to twice its size and chased the little wren off the stump.
"And I'll take this apple for my prize."
It was a silly boast. Even the frightened little wren knew that as she flew off into the trees. But crows like to brag a lot to make themselves feel important. Still, it would have been wise had the crow not boasted so loudly, for just as he was about to eat the golden apple, an eagle swooped down and knocked the crow right off the stump. The crow might be able to bully little bush birds, but the eagle was not having any bragging bird claiming to be lord of his forest. "I'm the king of the woods," screamed the eagle, perched on the stump in the clearing, "and I'll take this apple for my prize." But even for the eagle it would have been wiser not to have boasted so loudly, for just as he was about to pick up the golden apple with his talons, a wolf rushed into the clearing. Seeing the fierce animal running towards him, the eagle fled. The eagle might be the king of birds, but the wolf was not having any bragging bird claiming to be lord of his forest. "I'm the king of the woods," snarled the wolf, standing next to the stump in the clearing, "and I'll take this apple for my prize." But even for the wolf, it would have been wiser not to have boasted so loudly, for just as he was about to take a bite out of the golden apple, a bear rushed into the clearing. Seeing the ferocious beast running towards him, the wolf fled. The wolf might be master of his pack, but the bear was not having any bragging dog claiming to be lord of his forest. "I'm the king of the woods," roared the bear, sitting next to the stump in the clearing, "and I'll take this apple for my prize." But even for the bear, it would have been wiser not to have boasted so loudly, for just as he was about to grab the golden apple with his paw, a bull moose rushed into the clearing. Before the bear could move, the mighty bull moose scooped him up in his huge antlers and threw him into the air. The bear might be a terror to other animals, but the bull moose was not having any bragging beast claiming to be lord of his forest. "I'm the king of the woods," bellowed the bull moose, standing next to the stump in the clearing, "and I'll take this apple for my prize." This time, nobody else entered the clearing, because the bull moose really was the biggest and strongest animal in the woods. The bull moose was so sure of himself that he bellowed even more loudly, "Is there anyone who dares to challenge the king?" All was silent, but just as the bull moose was about to bite into the golden apple with his teeth, a shrill little voice piped up, "I will challenge you." It was the little wren. The other animals could not believe their ears or eyes. If the bull moose had not been such a grumpy beast, he probably would have laughed. Instead, he snorted and pawed the earth. Then the bull moose charged straight at the little wren. In return, the little wren charged straight at the bull moose. Just as they were about to collide, the little wren flew right up the bull moose's nose. The bull moose stopped in his tracks. He shook his head until his ears flapped. He banged his nose on the ground. He rattled his antlers against some of the saplings, but he just could not get the little wren out of his nose. There he is. The wren's in his nostrils. The bull moose got madder and madder as the wren pecked away with her sharp little beak at the inside of his big, soft nose. The bull moose became so angry he charged at the trunk of a huge tree with all his might and knocked himself out cold. "I'm the king of the woods," chirped the little wren in her boldest voice, and as she stood on the stump in the clearing, she said, "And I'll take this apple as my prize." No other animal dared to approach. All about the clearing they watched in silence, while the mighty king of the woods climbed up on the top of the golden apple and ate her lunch. The end. I like that one.